Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation and Treaty 3 territory. My name is Ian Mann, and I'm joined on the panel today with via Zoom Mr. Kevin Stephenson and Ms. Valerie Warehun. The assessment department personnel is Matthew Harling, and the administrative personnel is Phoebe Graywood. We will be hearing applications for revision of the business assessment role in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decision on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 2 through 4 and number 6 on our docket today. Ms. Graywood, would you please affirm the assessors and the applicant's testimony?
Mr. Harling, please state your full name.
Matthew Harling.
Do you affirm the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. And Mr. Story, please state your full name.
My name is Jared Story.
Do you affirm the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There are 4 matters on the list today. The first item appearing at number 2 is the street address of 336 William Avenue. Mr. Harling, can you please introduce the property and give us your evidence?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The file number is 24-4904. The address is 336 William Avenue. The business assessment ID is number 52437. We don't have a business name in file, and the owner is Little Brown Jug Brewing Company Limited. If you look below in my brief here, we'll see the total area of all the premises is 6,144 square feet. And we have a total annual rental value for 2025, based on the reference date of April 1st, 2023, at $73,200. If you look below my brief under the subject bit information here, you'll see we have the one premise on file. And again, the premise address is 336 William Avenue. We have a total premise area of 6,144 square feet. We're applying a base annual rental value of $57,631. This equates to a model rate of $9.38 a square foot. If you look beside that, you'll see our occupancy costs. So you can see here we're assessing for heat, electricity, and water under the full area for occupancy costs. And we are only assessing 3,321 square feet of area for the air conditioning occupancy cost, which equates to a total occupancy cost of $15,573. If we add the total occupancy cost to the base annual rental value, this will give us a total annual rental value, as indicated previously, of $73,200. If you look below my brief here, we'll see we have no lease information in place. And if we go further below that, we'll see my rent comparables. So I have 5 comparable rents here I've shown. So the first one here is on 702 Scotland Avenue, 1344 Spruce Street, 21 Keenly Side Street, 396 Daly Street North, and then 875 Century Street. So these are my 5 comparables. The lease start dates range from March 2018 to December 2021. Lease terms range from 1 to 11 years. The reported areas range from 3,200 square feet to 9,628 square feet. And the reported rents and net rents range from $8.92 a square foot to $13.25 a square foot. So that being said, I believe the rent we've applied would fall within the range of the comparable rents I have applied. If we turn to page 2 of my brief, just see the location of the subject as I indicated. It's on William Avenue here. So the top here, you just get a kind of an idea where this is situated here. So obviously in the downtown, actually very close to our location or downtown here. Bottom of page, or we turn to page 3. This is just another further Google Street image just to show the subject where it's situated on William Avenue and off of Hargrave Avenue street here. So you can see that. Page 4 of my brief, this is just a overhead view of the subject property here, at the top here. And at the bottom of page, on page 5 we turn to, you can see a bit the photo of the subject property here. So just the main building here is where the property, the area for the total premise. And then if we just go through pages, page 6 of my brief, this is just a photo comparable number 1. Page 7 is a photo of comparable number 2. Page 8 is a photo of comparable number 3. Page 9, this is actually a picture of comparable number 5, not 4. I made a mistake. I apologize. And then on page 10 of my brief, this is a photo of comparable 4. Comparable number 4. So that being said, I believe that concludes my presentation and I'm open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Story. Questions?
No questions on this one, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stephenson. Any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Ms. Warehun, any questions?
None, thank you.
I just have a question, Mr. Harling. What is the age of this building, or how old is this building? Do you have that?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. The age ranges from 1912 to 1927, and we have an overall effective year built in 1924. So it's a little bit older building, yeah. So
okay. My other question is the overhead view on page 4. It looks as though there's a very small parking lot and what appears to be a patio to the left side. Is that what that is a patio?
Yes, that is a patio, correct, yes. Yeah.
Okay, and that, just to be sure, is not included in the square footage of the 6,144?
No, the leasable area, or the area that we're assessing is just the main building where it says the 336. You can just see the one building there. That's just that area is what we're assessing for the premise.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to confirm that. I don't have any other questions. Mr. Story, your evidence, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. Okay, so just very briefly, this is indeed an old livery stable, Mr. Chair. So it was built around the turn of the 20th century in the exchange. It's now been converted to a tap room. So we appealed the realty of this property, and we advocated for a rent of $6. The realty was confirmed and has since been appealed further. So for the purpose of our exercise today, Mr. Chair, will simply ask that the assessment be confirmed so that the business assessment can be heard in concert with the realty appeal to municipal board. So we'll simply ask for confirmation today, and I thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Story. I'm guessing, Mr. Harling, that you don't have any questions as a result?
No, I don't have any questions then. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Warehun, any questions or
I
clarification?
do not, thank you.
Mr. Stephenson?
No questions, thank you.
And I have no questions. Given the request, I'm not going to ask for summaries, and we, having heard the evidence, we will conclude this matter and move on to number 2 on the list. That is, sorry, number 2 on the docket, which is number 2 on my list, which is number 3 on the docket. I apologize. 588 Wall Street address. If you could provide your evidence, please, Mr. Harling.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The file number is 24-4873. The address indicated is 588 Wall Street. The business assessment ID is 51914. The business name is Piston Ring Service, and the owners are number company 3600106 Manitoba Incorporated. If you look below my brief here, we'll see the total premise area of all the premises is 12,578 square feet. And the 2025 total annual rental value based on a reference date of April 1st, 2023 is $158,580. Look below my brief here on page 1 are the subject bid information. So you see we have the 2 premises on file. So the first one here, we have a total area of 11,678 square feet with a base annual rental value of $121,101. This equates to a base annual per square foot of $10.37 a square foot. So this is the main area. And then below that, we have a smaller area of 900 square feet. This is a mezzanine space area that's being assessed separately. We have a total base annual rental value of $8,919. And we're applying a base annual rental per square foot at $891 a square foot. This equates to a total, again, lease layer or total premise area of 12,578 square feet, total base annual rental value of $129,120, and it's an overall blended rent of $10.27. If you look below or look to the right, we'll see under the occupancy costs. For both premises, you'll see we're assessing for heat, electricity, and water for the full area. And we are not assessing any area for the air conditioning. As you can see, there's the one, so there's no air conditioning in that space or for the space, so we have not included that. So we can see the total occupancy costs are $27,327 and then $2,106 for total occupancy costs of $29,433. And if we add the total occupancy costs to the total base annual rental value, this gives us the annual rental value of $158,580. If you look below my brief here, you'll see subject lease. There's no subject lease information on file or in place that we have. And if we go to the bottom of page 1 of my brief, we'll see my rent comparables. Some of these ones we've seen previously, but these are the 5 rent comparables. So we have 1344 Spruce Street, 227 Lawson Crescent, 21 Keenly Side Street, 875 Century Street, and then 171 Cole Avenue. The lease start dates range from March 2018 to December 2021. Lease terms are 1 to 11 years. Ported areas are 5,500 square feet to 12,035 square feet. And the rents in place range from $8.92 a square foot to $17.67 a square foot. Okay, so if we turn to page 2 of my brief, we'll see the subject location. So again, I indicated this is on 580 Wall Street. So at the top of page 2, you'll see where it's situated here in Wall. Just south of it would be Portage Avenue. We turn to page 3 of my brief, you'll just see another photo of the subject where it's situated on Wall Street. Turning to page 4 of my brief, you'll see the overhead view of the subject property here. So you can see the building itself, how it's situated. And then if we turn to page 5 of my brief, it's just a photo of the subject property just facing Wall Street. So you can see it's essentially some more storage warehouse space. And now if we turn to pages 6 of my brief, these are the rent comparables, some of the photos of the comparables. So comparable number 1 is on page 6, which we've seen previously. Comparable number 2. Apologize, just getting a little stuff here. Comparable number 2 is on page 7 of my brief. This is the one on Lawson Crescent. Page 8 of my brief, this is comparable number 3. Page 9 of my brief is comparable number 4. And then page 5 of my brief is page 10 of my brief is comparable number 5. So that being said, I believe that concludes my presentation and I'm open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Story, questions?
Yes, thank you, sir. Just a few. Mr. Harling, that 900 square foot premise, that's a storage mezzanine, correct?
Correct.
So does that $8.91 rent not look extraordinarily high for a storage mezz?
You know, I unfortunately have not inspected this, so I can't see for certain. But yes, typically your right mezz space wouldn't be as sought after as or usable as main space. Yes, I'm mindful of that. Yeah.
Right, and typically in commercial leases, would you agree with me that the mezz space is generally included in the base rent, and there's not typically an isolated rent per foot applied to storage mezz space? Is that a fair comment?
I mean, mezz space, you're right, typically will not rent on its own or rent separately. So yeah.
Okay, and just to be clear, the rental comps that have been supplied here, are these the same rental comps that were submitted in support of the city's realty appeal?
You know what? I don't have that information. I may have looked at it, but there may have been some changes. Yeah. So.
Okay, and just very quickly, did you you selected these yourself?
These were picked from a list. Yeah, or I selected these comparables. Yes, correct.
Okay, and did you double check that lease on Lawson? That looks extraordinarily high to me. Did you check
Yes.
if that's?
I checked the mailer. Yes, I understand it's a bit higher. Yes, but as far as my knowledge, the mailer that we received, it looks like it's good lease in our place that we have on file. So.
Okay, and then just finally, in terms of the rental rate, would you agree with me that in relation to the 2025 realty appeal, our rental rate was applied by the board in the decision? Is that your understanding?
I believe that was part of the decision, correct?
Okay, those are my questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Ms. Wareham, questions?
Not at this time, thank you.
Mr. Stephenson, questions?
No questions, thank you.
I have a question with respect to the comparables that you selected, Mr. Harling. The Spruce Street would be close to this area, but Lowson, Keenly side are not geographically similar to this location. Would that have any effect on the rental rates?
You know, it's possible there could be some variations rents based on location. I will note, you know, there are not a lot of single tenanted comparable rents of similar size in this area, so I did have to branch out some of my comparables. So,
right. And my other question, on the first page of your evidence, it says owner occupied, no, but no leases on file.
you know, some of these ones I think there's some gross leases potentially in file, but I wouldn't really put any weight on that. So, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything further than Mr. Story. Your evidence, please.
Yes. Thank you, sir. And just to be very clear, this is indeed an owner-occupied premise. So I want to ask that question to the assessor as well. So thank you for bringing that up. So very, very simply, Mr. Chair, we're requesting 122,580 today, and that is based on the blended rent of $7.41. So the exact comparables that were presented to the board as part of the realty appeal have been submitted here. Once again, we've been very consistent, and you can see that we've applied $7.75 to the main floor and $3 to the storage mezz. So I'm mindful of the fact that we do have to place a value on elements that are there, that exist physically. So though it is not typically market practice to apply a separate rent to that storage mezz, we've tried to be fair and applied a storage rent to that 900 square feet of storage mezz. So this is exactly in line with what was presented to the board as part of the realty appeal. This is actually just taken straight from that brief. And then when we apply the cost to the occupancy costs, we come to 122,636, which we then round to 122,580. The balance of the brief includes the workup that is taken straight from the realty brief, as you can see, and then the board order with the conclusion section highlighted, indicating that the decision is indeed based on the evidence provided by the applicant, which includes our blended rent of $7.41. So we would simply ask that the business assessment match the realty for our purposes today, and do respectfully submit that the value ought to be 122,580 on that basis. And with that, I'm happy to take your questions, and I thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harlan, questions?
I guess maybe just one question. Just looking at the comps you've supplied here, I guess it's fair to say that there's not a lot of comps in the area to have this type of building in the area that you could find, correct? Like I noticed a lot of these are
yeah. So in this section where we're looking around to, let's say, Wellington, Erin, Clifton, those streets, we're not going to find something of this size generally. So Piston Ring does have a pretty large footprint in that 600 block of wall. So you're quite right. So yeah, we did have to extend outward. Now these are not my comps that were selected. I didn't handle the realty, but these are the precise comps that were presented in support. And I agree with you. You have to go a little bit outside of the area based on the the unique nature of our subject.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stephenson, questions?
No questions from me. Thank you very much.
Ms. Warren, questions?
No, mine were answered. Thank you.
And I don't think I have any questions. Thank you. Mr. Harling, any summary?
No, I'm good on my end. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Story, any summary required?
Yeah, just again very quickly, Mr. Chair, we're just asking that the board that the business assessment follows the realty assessment for our purposes today. So with that, I thank you.
Thank you. Then, having heard the evidence, we will conclude that matter and move on to the next item on the docket, that being the street address of 865 Wall. If you can please introduce the property and provide your evidence, Mr. Harling.
Thanks, Chairman. The file number is 24-4707. The address is indicated as 865 Wall Street. Business assessment ID is 26864. Business name is Commercial Interior Contractors, and the owners are CIC Incorporated. If you look below my brief, the total area of all the premises on file is 6,945 square feet. The total 2025 annual rent value, based on the reference date of April 1st, 2023, is assessed at $74,400. If you look below on page 1 of my brief, or below in that brief, you'll see the on file we have the two premises. So we have the first premise at 1,945 square feet. We have a base annual rental value of $17,194, which gives us equates to a base ARV per square foot of $8.84 a square foot. And below that, we have the second premise at 5,000 square feet, which gives us a base annual rental value of $40,950, and we're applying an overall base annual rental per square foot at $8.19 a square foot. So the total blended rent on that would be $9.69. We have a total area of 6,945 square feet, and the total base ARV would be $58,144. So the predicted, I have not inspected this property, but the information on the floor plan we had on file, the property is or building is probably used for warehouse storage space. There is some office space as well. So, and I believe at one point there may have been multi-tenants in there, hence why we have it split into the two premises. But as of right now, it's obviously being used by the one business. So if we look under occupancy costs, you can see we're assessing for heat, electricity, water for the entire area. And there's no AC in the building, so we have exempt that, or we have removed that. So you can see the one there. So the total occupancy costs are $4,552 and $11,700, which equates to a total occupancy cost of $16,252. So if we add the total occupancy cost to the base annual rent value, this gives us again the total annual rent value of $74,400. Okay, so if we look under below that, we'll see here where there's no lease information on file. And if we look at the rent now we'll see here my rent comparables. So, these are actually very similar to the ones we've already spoken to. So, but you can see the same comparables here. We have 702 Scotland, 1344 Spruce, 1214 Fife, 21 Keenly Side, and 875 Century. These start dates range from January 2018 to December 2021. Lease terms are 1 to 11 years. Reported areas range from 3,200 to 9,628 square feet. And the rents in place, or reported rents, range from $8.92 a square foot to $13.92 a square foot. We turn to page 2 of my brief. We'll see where this property is situated. So this is also located in Wall Street, not terribly far from the previous property. So you can see here at the top of page 2. The bottom of page 3 here is the subject, again, where it's situated on Wall. Page 4 of my brief, you'll hear the overhead view of the subject property. And then page 5 of my brief, you'll see the actual front view photo of the subject. So Wall Street's on the right here, or left here. And then going just through pages 6 through 10, these are the ones we've already spoken to, so I'm not going to go through the comparable pictures, but they're the same similar comparables. So that being said, that concludes our presentation, and I'm open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Story, questions?
No questions on this file, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Stephenson, any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Ms. Warren, questions?
None, thank you.
And I don't have any. Mr. Story, your evidence, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So once again, to maintain consistency, we reviewed the realty appeal in the decision, and there was a reduction, but it was based on the NOI presented by the department. So for the purpose of our exercise today, Mr. Chair, I'm just simply going to ask that this BA file be confirmed so that we can discuss the rents in concert with the larger picture at the municipal board with relation to the realty appeal. So for our purpose today, we'll simply ask for confirmation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harlan, do you have anything to ask or add at this point?
No, I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Warehun.
None, thank you.
Mr. Stephenson.
No, thank you. No questions.
And I don't have any questions either. Any summary required, Mr. Harlan?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
And Mr. Story?
No, sir, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Then we will move on to number 6 on the docket. The last matter to be heard today is the street address of 1510 Wall Street. If you can please provide us with the property introduction and your evidence, Mr. Harling.
Thanks, Chairman. The file number is 245000. The address as indicated is 1510 Wall Street. The business assessment ID is 24255. The business name is United Sales, and the owners are United Sales Associates Manitoba Limited. If we look below my brief here, we'll see that we have a total premise area of 20,252 square feet. And the total annual rent value, 2025 annual rent value, based on the reference date of April 1st, 2023, is $208,500. If we look below my brief on the roof here under the subject bid, you'll see here again we have 2 premises on file, both the same address. So the first premise is 13,127 square feet with a base ARV of 93,989 square feet, or $9, I apologize. This equates to a base per square foot annual rent value of $7.16. And then we have the secondary premise at 7,125 square feet with a base annual rent value of 67,118, which equates to a base annual per square foot of $7.42. This equates to a total blended rent of $7.96. So again, like the other property here, this is predominantly used for storage warehouse space. And at one point there were multiple tenants in here, henceforth why we had it broken down into multiple premises. So if we look into the occupancy costs, you'll see here we're assessing total area for the heat, electricity, and water. And again, there's no air conditioning we're assessing for, so you can see the 1 there. So we have a total occupancy cost of $30,718 and $16,673, which equates to a total of $47,391. And if we add that to the total base annual rent value of $161,107, this equates to the $208,500 for the annual rent value. If you look into the subject lease information, it does say owner occupied. No, it is owner occupied in this case. So I'm not sure why it says that, but there are no leases in place that we have. Okay, so now if we look into the rent comparables, pretty similar to the previous ones here. So, Spruce Street, Keenly Side, Century, 171 Cole, 130 Watt Street, and 1256 Sherwin. So there's a few other new ones. They range from March 2018 to May 2022. These terms range from 1 to 11 years. Reported areas range from 5,500 square feet to 21,080 square feet. And the reported rents range from $8.92 to $13.50. Okay, so if we turn to page 2 of my brief, we'll see what the subject location is. Again, this is located on Wall Street. So again, in the same area as the previous properties. And turn to page 3. This is just another photo of the subject where it's located. Turn to page 4. This is just an overhead view of the subject property. And then if we turn to page 5 of my brief, this is just a view of the subject facing Wall Street, so you can see the building in its entirety. And then if we turn to page 6, comparable 1. Page 7 is compare number 2. Page 8 would be comparable photo compare number 3. Page 9 is comparable number 4. Page 10 is comparable number 5. And then page 11 is comparable number 6. So that being said, I believe that is my concludes my presentation, and I'm open for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Story. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Harling, just to be clear, this realty appeal was just heard by the board. Is that your understanding?
Yes, I believe this was fairly recently heard. Yes.
Okay, and can we agree that the board ordered a rent of $6 based on our submission?
I believe that was the decision that the board made, correct?
Okay, and these comps that you've presented today, these are not the comps from the realty appeal, correct?
I do not believe these would be my comparables I chose, yes, so.
Right, okay. And just to be fair, of these 6, 4 of them are less than 5 years, correct?
Yes, in terms of the lease term dates, yes.
Okay, and can we agree that typically shorter lease terms would command a higher rent per foot? Is that a general fair comment in general?
That would have a bearing on it, yes. I don't dispute.
Okay. And I guess so. The other question I had was our subject property has no air conditioning. Do your comparables also have 0 air conditioning? Is it the same degree of finish?
You know what? Some of them do, some of them don't, I believe. But you know what? I don't have that information on file this time. So
okay, that's fine. Those are my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Warehun, any questions?
None, thank you.
Mr. Stephenson, questions?
No questions, thank you.
I just have a couple with respect to the physical layout of the building. Do you have an age of this, Mr. Harling?
yeah, I do actually. It ranges from 1949. It was the first portionings up to 2002, and we have an overall effective year built in 1963. So it was built in stages. I believe Mr. Story has some information in his brief about that too. But yeah, so it's 1949 to 2002. So.
Okay, so I'm just looking at page 5 of your brief, which is the overhead looking back across Wall Street to United States Sales. There is one building in an L shape, that grayish building, or the grayish roof rather. That's the newer portion of the building?
You know what? Like I found a floor plan we had in file. I apologize, I didn't put in the brief, but like I haven't inspected the building, so I would.
Okay.
So I don't want to make the assumption, yeah, so.
Okay, fair enough. Then that takes care of my next question too. I don't have anything further. Mr. Story, your evidence, please.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. So once again, we are at 1510 Wall Street. So Mr. Chair, it is a wood frame building, and it has been built in call it a piecemeal fashion. 3,600 feet were built in 1949. 4,274 were built in 1955, 4,572 in 58, 4,002 in 59, and then 3,000 feet in 2002. And then there was a smaller addition in 1966 of 796 feet. So with respect to the overall leasable area, the modern section is 3,000 feet, and that's from 2002. A majority of this building was built in the 40s and 50s. So I had mentioned in my questioning that the realty appeal occurred not too long ago. I handled the appeal. You can see the decision was received by our office on February 20th, and the decision was based on the evidence presented by the applicant, and in this case, that was based on a $6 rent. So I've included all of the comparables that I submitted in support of our position at the realty appeal. And as you can see, the board ordered that $6 rent was appropriate given the age and the fact that this is an unair-conditioned storage warehouse. It is indeed owner-occupied. It's between related parties. Again, it services the Piston Ring main holding as a parts warehouse. So we'll simply request, Mr. Chair, that the decision on the realty carry forward to the business for our purposes today. And if that be the case, then the value that we calculate is $168,900. That value once again is $168,900, and that is again based on $6 per foot, which is aligned to the realty decision. So I'll leave my presentation there, and I'm happy to take your questions, and I thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harling, any questions?
I guess I'll just keep a brief one. So I guess the comparables you've shown here, are these all like similar single-tenant buildings, or are these multi-tenanted, or are you aware, or just?
That's a good question. There's likely a mix there. I know that, for example, King would be multi, so it would be a mix, but basically we're trying to find properties with those those advanced effective ages, I suppose you could say. It is an older property, as I mentioned to Mr. Mann. The property was predominantly built in the 40s and 50s, so that was a consideration. But to answer your question, those would be a mix of single and multi-tenant buildings.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Warehun, any questions?
No, mine have all been answered. Thank you.
Mr. Stephenson, questions?
No questions, thank you.
And I have no questions on this property. Mr. Harling, any summary?
No, I think I'm good on my end. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Story, any summary?
Yeah, just very quickly, we do respectfully request that the business assessment follow the realty assessment in this case, and would ask that our position be given consideration on that basis. And I thank you.
Thank you very much. Then, having heard the evidence, we will conclude this matter, and I believe that completes all the matters that were remaining on the docket. And so this hearing is adjourned. Thank you, Mr. Harling and Mr. Story, for your time and your presentations today. You'll be receiving the decisions in short order.
Wonderful. Thanks
Thank
so
you very much.